wedding ceremonies and all that, a couple of them which I've attended, where the father's last dialogue to the daughter who's getting married and going is "Ja beta ja, ji ja apni zindagi." Mogambo, Khush.
It is the character of an actor which makes it alive. But I think it's the magic of my grandfather. Mr. Amrish Puri made villains sexy. The people who, looked up to heroes started looking at Dadu and saying that this man looks amazing. And he's the same man who very early in his career was told that you have a very harsh face.
I would love to see my father there on the screen, roaring away. A lot of memories of when my father was shooting for that movie.
Hello and welcome to ETimes. My name is Jigar Shah, and today we have with us Rajeev Puri and Vardhan Puri, legacy of Amrish Puri. And I don't think I have ever gotten scared of one individual in the entire film industry except Mr. Amrish Puri. And I have memories of him since my childhood. So when people talk to you about Amrish Puri, your father, your grandfather, what memories, what first thing which comes to your mind when someone says Amrish Puri to you?
Very upright person, a very principled man, and very strong man, and no nonsense man, and of course very dedicated actor.
You?
My father covered most of it, but if I have to coin it, I would say a kind man with strong character.
You literally look like your father's spitting image right now. Like I can put you before and after, people not realize who's who right now, literally. Because you look the same, you even carry yourself in a similar fashion, and you're as fit as how I remember him back in the day when I used to see Shahenshah or Mr. India or Hum Panch for that matter.
Oh, yes.
I go that back with Mr. Amrish Puri. So now we have one of the biggest hits of his career, Gadar Ek Prem Katha, releasing after 22 years.
Right.
There is a premiere happening a few days from now. Will you be going for it? And what does Gadar evoke to you?
Yes, I'll definitely go and see it because it's a proud moment for us, and I would love to see my father there on the screen, roaring away. And what it means to me is a lot of memories of when my father was shooting for that movie. Of course, I didn't attend those shootings, but all the tales that he had to tell us, because most of the time I think they have shot the movie in Amritsar.
Yeah.
So a lot of stories behind that, and and finally when we went and saw the movie, it was something which Anil Sharma ji made straight from the heart.
So if you could share one tale that you remember from the Gadar shooting.
There was on Amritsar railway station, there was a huge crowd because all these actors were shooting over there, and I think the crowd got very chaotic, and Anilji once told me that the crowd had got so chaotic that it was very difficult for them to control the crowds, and the actors were not able to shoot over there because of the commotion happening over there, and then my father, he asked for the public addressing system, and on the mic he told the people that, look, we are over here for some serious work, so if you behave like this, we will not be able to shoot. So I request everyone to just be calm and be at your places so that we can complete the shoot. And everyone just obeyed him, and within a couple of minutes there was complete silence over there on that railway station, and they shot for the whole day, and without any problems. So that's
Imagine
that's
him
something.
saying that with his baritone
Yeah.
voice on
Yeah,
on the mic.
on the mic, on the mic. So, and he was loved by the people.
I am
over
getting
there.
goosebumps thinking about it.
Yeah,
What he must have said then.
He was loved by the people of Punjab. He was a favorite over there. He
Still
still
is.
is
Still
because
is.
because the number
Still
of people who come over here to Bombay or they call me up and they talk to me, so they also have a lot of memories of this movie and everything. So
Even the
that-
fan mail we receive,
Still.
I think maybe 60-70% comes from Punjab.
Wow.
And a lot of it comes from Pakistan. And a lot of it comes from various countries, but Punjab and the North,
North India, I think North India, where he's so popular.
He is especially
over there.
popular.
Very popular.
But I think why only North India? I think he is
Everywhere.
very popular in the south of India also.
he's
where
done
he's
films in
done,
Tamil,
he's
Telugu,
done
Kannada.
Extremely
movies
popular.
in Tamil and Malayalam, Telugu. So
Kannada.
So he has
his
I
first
think-
film was Kannada, right?
Yeah, his first movie
Kadu.
was a Kannada movie directed by Girish Karnad.
Kaddu.
Kadu.
Kadu.
Sorry, Kadu. Yeah.
Kadu.
So not only in India, but I think he has fans all over the world.
Vardhan, how was your experience watching Gadar on the big screen? You must have been very young
Yeah.
back then. How was your experience?
It was surreal because for me, he was my grandfather, and I never thought that he was the antagonist or the villain of the film. I always considered him to be the hero because whenever I saw my grandfather, because of my emotional connect and my bond with him, I was always cheering for him and dissing the hero. So I was always cheering for the bad guy. So yeah, Gadar was just as special as all his other films. When I went to watch it, I was mesmerized by what he did, and it was very difficult for me to segregate the grandfather from the actor, which I could do only once I grew older.
Okay.
And at that point, when I used to watch any of his work, my eyes were focused only on him. So I would not watch the film, I would just watch him. But now, because I'm a student of cinema and because I'm a cinephile myself and I'm obsessed with the medium, so I think finally this time I will be able to watch the film other than my grandfather also. So I can't wait to go and experience the magic of Gadar once again, reimagined in 4K, remixed on Atmos. So can't wait to see my grandfather roaring like he does, just like my dad just mentioned.
So,
Yeah.
but Vardhan, so when you were growing up, Amrish sir was still doing a lot of negative roles still then.
Right.
So, were you teased saying your grandfather is the biggest villain possible? Or you used to cheer saying, oh, I am Amrish Puri's grandson? What was the scenario then?
I've been extremely proud of being his grandson. In fact, I can safely assume that you're going to ask me, were you scared of him? Were my friends scared of him? But let me tell you that, of course, initially my friends and their parents used to wonder whether they should allow the children to come over.
Really?
Because they used to imagine this man who's sitting by the pool in his bath gown, smoking a cigar and with a single malt glass in his hand.
Yeah.
But he was nothing like that. He was a workaholic, a man who was working all the time. I don't think he's had any time to enjoy any of this. And I don't think it was something that interested him also. He was about family and work. So when my friends actually got the opportunity to meet him, they realized he was a gentle giant and they absolutely fell in love with him. So at all my birthday parties, at any celebrations in the house, at any party, the children were with him. He was a favorite
What
of the
are you
children.
saying?
They loved him. You can ask my dad how children used to go crazy, especially because of Mogambo.
Yeah.
Especially because of the magic Mogambo created. His fan base among children, unmatched.
What are you saying?
Yeah.
I can't imagine Amrish Puri sir with kids and they are happy with him.
They were very happy. They were very happy, and he used to be mobbed by children. And he's been to so many institutions, schools and all as a chief guest because the children wanted him. They said if you have to call an actor for a function, it should be Mogambo. To call him.
They used to call him Mogambo itself.
Mogambo uncle.
Everyone, all the children
Mogambo.
used to call him Mogambo uncle.
Wow. Imagine a villain being a favorite with the kids. It's
yes,
unreal.
yes, yes, and that happened after 1987. The day Mr. India released, उसके बाद में फिर I think within a couple of months, the character Mogambo started getting so popular.
But imagine the charm of Mr. Amrish Puri that he just had that. Imagine those three lines, Mogambo Khush hua.
Yeah, so they love it, you know.
So do you all use it?
No, not. We love to hear it, but I don't use it.
It would be too indulgent if we used it, but we love hearing
Come
it.
on, it belongs to the two of you and your family.
But also salute to the genius of Javed Akhtar
Akhtar
Sahab,
Yeah, yeah,
Mr.
of
Shekhar
course.
Kapoor.
To come up with such a
Salim Khan Saab.
simplistic line, which I think no one had thought of for so many years. Like,
And
it's
so simple, so simple. Mogambo Khush hua.
Mogambo Khush hua.
Wow.
And it's also got a childlike quality to it.
Yeah.
Like if you ask a child how he's feeling, this is what he or she might say, that I'm happy.
True.
It's so simplistic, but
True.
I think it is the character of an actor which makes it alive.
True.
It's so simple.
True.
But I think it's the magic of my grandfather.
True. Rajeev sir, were you at any point, did you feel that Mr. Amrish Puri was much more kinder to him than to you? Because ये तो interest है, आप तो principal हो.
Yeah, yeah. Of course, he was very kind to his grandchildren, but he would make sure that they don't take it in the easy manner. You know.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. But he used to tell me, कि, like you know, see to it that, like you know, our children they grow up in a very disciplined manner, and they should, like you know, their focus should be completely on education till they complete education, till they complete their education, and let them go out in the evenings. They have to be in the open grounds. They have to play. They have to enjoy nature. So make sure that you design their life in a very proper manner. So those were my instructions, and of course, he was like with me. He was like you know, he made sure that I grew up in a very disciplined manner. So he was a little more strict, but he was very kind to them.
Okay. So when it comes to my father, if I want something, I put my sister ahead. My sister can make him do anything. So with you, who was that one person who used to?
In my case, my sister used to put me ahead. So she was always behind me, like you know, ask him. But then I, like you know, I got used to it, and whenever I wanted something, I used to always ask him. But I used to make sure first that am I justified in asking?
Oh.
First. Then, like you know, after thinking, I wouldn't just go and ask for anything, but I used to ask only for the right things. So that's how that helped me form my discipline also.
Wow. It looks like a very disciplined family.
Yeah, yeah, of course. Disciplined but fun loving. We had a lot of fun. We had a lot of picnics and all that. Means we've traveled so much with mom and dad. So, mother, we've had a lot of fun in our lives as young children also. But of course, everything in a proper manner, never to hurt anyone, and you know, do the right things.
So were you allowed on the sets to go with him? Did you go to sets with him?
Very interesting that you're asking that. I wasn't allowed.
Really?
My grandfather always felt that before the mind completely matures, if his grandchildren got the adulation because of his achievements, not because of their achievements, it might go to their heads. So he felt like the moment you realize that this adulation is due to my hard work, then you'll be allowed on set.
Wow.
So till a certain age, we were not allowed, because I remember this one time, not one time, a few times when we went on set, we were treated like royalty. Because everyone wanted to, you know, give us amazing treatment, because it would apparently make my grandfather happy, but it never made him happy. When he saw us being pampered, or 5 stars sandwiches aa rahe, or coffee aa rahi, or ye aa raha, or falana dimkana, sab kuch aa raha, he found it very strange, and he said that please make sure that they go home, because I don't want this.
Wow.
This will distract them from their studies. They might start thinking they are more special than other children. I'm not okay with that. So we were not allowed.
This was which set? Do you remember which
I
film was
remember
it?
going on various sets. So this particular incident happened during the shooting of Chori Chore Chuke Chuke.
Oh.
Yeah. And Abbas Mastan,
Yeah, Abbas Mastan,
sir,
yeah.
they were, both of them were very kind, and Salman sir, Preeti Zinta, Rani Mukherjee, they just were pampering us. They were just making sure that Amrish ji's grandchildren were having the best time possible.
Yeah.
We forgot we were in school. For us, it was that this is heaven, and हम कुछ भी मांग रहे वो आ रहा है. So we said, can we have chips? 10 packets. Can we have Coca-Cola? 20 bottles.
Wow.
Like, this is great. This is the life we wanted. He said, this is not the life you'll get now. Work for it. So yeah. And because you were mentioning earlier about fun, and Dad rightly mentioned that, fun can always be accompanied with discipline.
Yeah.
So he said that if you want to have fun for one day, be indisciplined. But if you want to have fun through your life, it can happen only if you're punctual and disciplined.
Wow.
So if you want to enjoy your life, if you want every single day of your life to be fun, the only thing you'll have to do is follow a certain discipline. So I think that's a great lesson.
Yeah. Like, I know he used to work out every day. I think I was told he was work out every day.
Oh, he was a very fit person, and he loved his physical workouts. So I think even at night, even if he would come back at midnight or sometimes at 1, 2 o'clock, in the morning, like for his morning shift, he was up at 7 in the morning, and then if he didn't have time to do his weight training and all that, he would never miss doing his freehand stretches and his yoga. In the morning, his first 40 minutes would be like, just doing all that and feeling good about it. And then he would do a little bit of light dumbbells and all that. And then he would get ready, and he was so fresh, like, with just sometimes 4 hours 4 hours of sleep के साथ में भी morning में उठते थे और अपना in front of the mirror whistling away and shaving, and so fresh he was.
This would be at 50, 60 years of age, if I'm not.
No,
even more than that.
I'm talking
Even
about
70.
like, when he was nearing 70.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. He worked like, he passed away at the age of 72, and like, he was shooting almost till the end.
Wow.
Yeah.
But he didn't look 72 for sure. I always thought that he must be looking much younger than 72.
No, he had a fantastic physique, I think, with a very absolute V physique, and so he loved it. He loved doing that. He loved his fitness regime.
True. So, have you ever taken benefit of being Amrish Puri's son? Have you ever used "I'm Amrish Puri's son" anywhere?
No. Somehow people know wherever, like, whenever I go for a meeting or something like that, in my friend circles or in my or whoever I meet, somehow like people come to know who I am. So
Sure, absolutely.
So no, I absolutely play it down. I don't this thing because of course people, everyone feels so happy. I think the whole of India and the whole world who knows him is his fan.
Yeah.
Everyone loves him. So when they meet me, they feel so happy to meet me, and I just feel that that's a blessing.
True. Okay, now coming to a very important film right now, there is a film called Indiana Jones, the Dial of Destiny, which is releasing.
Oh yeah.
In the year 84, Amrish sir was part of the Temple of Doom version of it. I have the quote with me, which Steven Spielberg wrote to him. To my best villain, you are unique in all the world as a bad guy, and in the real world we live in, you are a terrific human being. I love every minute of your work together. Can't wait to work with you again.
Absolutely.
So where is this note, and what memories do you have of him working on this film?
Yeah. Okay. I was when Indiana Jones shooting was happening. I was because by qualification I'm a navigating officer. Yeah. I'm a navigating officer. So I was on the ships. I was doing some cross Atlantic this thing cruise at that time, and but I remember I was on leave at that time when Steven Spielberg came to India to audition my father. Wow. He wanted to see, because someone told him and his team that there's an actor. He's they had pinpointed on him. Okay, we want him. So when he came to know that my dad was doing 22 movies at that time, yeah, in during those days, 22 movies on the sets, they were zapped. They said, how can an actor do 22 movies? But that was the fact, because my dad was in the morning he was shooting over here in Bombay. Yeah. He would take the evening flight, go to Chennai. The next morning he had a shoot over there. Then he'll finish that. Then in the evening he'll take a flight, come back to Bombay, or maybe another set somewhere, yeah, in Hyderabad. So Chennai to Hyderabad he'll shoot. Then he'll be doing 2 movies like that, and then he'll come back to Bombay. So I've seen him for years and years doing this. So Steven Spielberg was absolutely amazed, okay, like how does he do that? And what I'm told is that that was the only time Steven Spielberg came to India to audition an actor, because he was very curious to meet Dad, and he met him, and he signed the movie over here only, and then the shooting took place in London. They had made the whole set, and a part of the shooting took place in Sri Lanka also.
Okay. Is it true that after Temple of Doom, Amrish sir shaved his head completely and carried that look?
Before the Temple of Doom. Before, just before, for a movie over here, he had shaved his head, and Steven Spielberg loved that look. So he said, "Ki Amrish, don't keep your look like this only. I love you in this look." So that's what Dad told me. Steven told me he loves this look. After that, of course, after Indiana Jones, he received quite a few offers over there. He had his agent over there. He said that we would like you to sign this, and we. But Dad was very devoted to his Indian film industry. So he said, no, I want to be over here, because by God's grace I'm doing very well over here, and I want to be over here and do the movies for my countrymen.
So this note he wrote, I'm sure Spielberg wrote this note.
Yes.
So you'll have kept this somewhere.
Yes,
somewhere.
Of course. Yeah, we have it somewhere.
Yeah, you'll have it, right?
Yeah,
I was like, किधर गया ये note?
ये note है.
This is the most this is the priceless note you all can think of.
Yeah, absolutely.
We have it very safely kept.
Wow. So hey, I was like, किधर गया? I thought he said this somewhere. Then I realized, no, there is a note of.
There's a note. Yeah, there's one photograph on which he is written with his own hands, and so it's there.
Wow. I used to Shahenshah was one of my favorite films, and my mother's name starts with K, and my name is Jigar, so I used to call myself JK.
Oh, yeah.
So I used to my dad's name begins with
But
D.
my father has got all his characters have fantastic names.
Yeah.
All of them.
Absolutely.
Like if you see Tridev, it's Bhujang. Then if you see Vishwatma, it's
Ajgar
Zurrat. All the characters that he has.
Thakral,
GD Thakral.
Indrajit Chadha
in
Damini.
Mogambo. I don't know. I mean, he just got luck.
Chaudhary Baldev Singh, DDL.
Chaudhary Baldev Singh in DDL.
Then Tehlka ka?
Dong. कभी wrong नहीं होता.
Yeah.
So some brilliant characters and great names.
And his one-liners and his dialogues and all that. Like I think so many times I hear people like during their conversations they say that do dil jalega dialogue, pagal hai, premi hai, deewana hai.
In fact, this today only someone told me, "जा जिगर जा जी ले अपनी जिंदगी."
Wow.
And I'm like,
But that is a very commonly used dialogue.
very commonly
And
used
not
dialogue.
only here, even in the NRI community.
Yeah.
Recently, I was shooting in London and I was at the airport and I was in the lounge. There was an NRI couple with their children, and the children were going to eat. And of course, the children didn't even know Hindi because, they were quite removed from Indian society. And the little girl came to her father and she said that, Daddy, I want a sandwich. And he said it to her. He said, Ja, Simran, ja, ji le apni zindagi. And that little girl's name was Simran. So I just looked towards them and I smiled. So they smiled back at me. And it was just a moment. I said, this is amazing. Billions of people in the world.
Yeah.
This happened in front of me and they're talking about my grandfather's line. So I think
like
very
I have witnessed during this wedding ceremonies and all that, a couple of them which I have attended, where the father's last dialogue to the daughter who's getting married and going is
जा बेटा जा.
"Ja beta ja, ji
जी
le
ले
apni
अपनी
zindagi." So it's a very auspicious,
It is.
very auspicious dialogue.
Like imagine a simple dialogue saying "ow."
It's iconic.
Ow. Everyone
Just ow.
It's just one word. That
Yeah,
nothing
Just
else.
one word.
True.
That's what star puts. That's the star an actor puts
Yeah.
into one scene.
Yeah, absolutely.
True. So do you all keep in? So does any of his colleagues keep in touch with you all over these years?
Yeah, like whenever we meet his friends at some parties or some get-togethers or somewhere. So जब भी मिलते हैं सब लोग बहुत प्यार से मिलते हैं with a lot of respect and a lot of love.
But you always been very far removed from the industry. You were managing his
Yeah,
work,
I most of the time I'm busy with our businesses and all that. So I am a little in my own world, but he represents the film industry. So it's like that.
So okay, so in a very specific way, you used to manage his business work. How was he as a boss? Can I ask that? Can I call him your boss in a way?
Oh yes, of course. He was the boss, and he just wanted to know at the end of the month how have we been faring in our business and all that. So because frankly speaking, he didn't have more time than that
Yeah.
to really look into it. But he was he was very confident that I was looking after everything, so he didn't have anything to worry about.
Okay.
I would just like to add something
please,
to
please.
that. That is being very modest and saying that he was the boss. Of course, by virtue of his age and experience, he at that point would have known a lot more about life. But I've seen them work together and they were partners. So they worked hand in hand.
Yeah.
Because my grandfather kept his complete focus on his craft and his performances, and everything else was being done by my dad. So from script selection to striking the deal to the promotions to understanding the schedule for the year, which is extremely important because from all the offers he's getting, you have to choose a limited amount of work because as human beings, we can only do a certain amount of work. So they were really working in tandem. And
But
he's a very big part of my grandfather's journey.
He used to share everything, like we used to have these discussions and all that, and he used to share his days, all the whatever was going on during the day, and he used to describe that to me, and so it was nice to as he wanted to know as a third person, okay, how this would work out and all that. So we've had lovely conversations, beautiful discussions, and so that's how it was.
Did you ever wonder that how come my father can do this also on screen? That if there was one role or one scene that you can think of any of his 350 or 450 films that he's done, was there ever a point wherein you thought, oh, I didn't know my dad can do this also?
Yeah, many scenes. Like, he's really shown a different side. Like, of course, he's done, like, it just comes to my mind that
Yeah.
he's done so many movies as a bad man, as a
Yeah.
villain, and all that. But his some of his funny moments in a movie like Tehelka, where he takes his ponytail
And he does that dance.
and he does all his dancing and all that. So that was like, something which I'm sure the audiences would have, like, enjoyed something like that. And of course, like, quite a few times I felt like that. Ki, wow, here too he's. There was a movie called Varis, directed by Ravinder Peepat. That was like, that is one negative role which I.
Very powerful.
One of the negative roles which I feel is very, very cruel, a very cruel type of character. But he's done those type of characters, like, directors like Rakesh Roshan Saab handled him so well in Karan Arjun.
I got scared on the sets. I was there.
Yeah.
I was.
He was in fact even outstanding in Koila.
Koila,
Koila, he
that
was
Bihari,
amazing.
bloody fool.
Yeah, bloody fool. Yeah.
Oh God, that. But he used to catch that character beautifully, and depict it on the screen in negative roles. Another movie which I remember is Priyadarshan Saab's Sazae Kala Pani.
Yeah.
Brilliant
He's
film.
done
Yeah, fabulous.
about that British rule in India, and he's done a negative character called
playing the jailer.
Mirza Khan. What a cruel character.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
And of course, when he, like, and there was like so many times that he had two releases, one negative, one positive.
Yeah.
So, like, public would, the audiences would love that variety, एक positive role आ रहा है, एक negative role आ रहा है, and in a month there are, like, these 2 or 3 releases.
Yeah, he was one actor for whom image never mattered. Like
Image
negative,
never mattered,
positive,
yeah,
he just
yeah.
did everything, and people
Oh,
loved him
yes.
for most things.
Yes, and like, people, even now people remember him for movies like Muskurahat,
Yeah.
I was
Gardish,
just gonna say that.
and
Yeah.
of course so many positive
DDLJ being one of them.
roles, and even like he's done a few movies which are situational comedies,
Yeah.
like he's not doing a comic scene, but the situation is such, like, so many scenes in Chachi Chardo.
Yes.
Brilliant.
Yes, it was so good. in it.
Outstanding.
I guess he even shaved his mustache for that film, if
Yeah.
I'm not wrong.
He shaved
For
his
Chachi.
Yeah, for Chachi, yes, for Chachi.
Then, like the way Rajkumar Santoshi Saab has handled him in movies like, in
China
comic
Gate,
roles like China Gate.
He's superb.
We can talk about him
Yeah,
like
yeah,
for
yeah.
hours
Oh.
right now.
I think so many movies, like, they just come as flashes in front of me. But it was a
He
great.
was so good in Halchal also.
Very good.
With Priyadarshan.
Oh yes, yeah.
And I remember this one fight scene in the very start. He's like, "Jaldi karo, mujhe ghar jana hai." I never thought this is Amrish sir can say this to anyone. He can say this in real life. "Mujhe ghar jana hai." Chalo, jaan do mujhe.
Even if you want to see sensitive portrayals, there is one scene between him and Anil Kapoor sir in Virasat,
Yeah.
when Anil Kapoor sir's character decides to go back to Bombay. Then Bombay.
Yeah.
And actually he's really upset because he's very lonely, even though he
Yeah.
has a lot of love
Yeah.
from the villagers. He doesn't have anyone of his own who understands him, and he struck that bond with his son. And there's one particular moment when he very emotionally tells Anil Kapoor sir's character that you can do whatever
Yeah,
you want.
yeah,
And as he's going, Dadu keeps looking at him and he almost slips. And his reaction there, it is
He reacts and then goes behind the pillar.
Yeah.
You know, a column like that.
Like a concerned father who cannot show his complete naked self. Because that's the way Indian fathers are.
Yeah.
But it's something else.
Yeah, and there's a beautiful scene in Ghatak where uh, uh, his son comes to know that he's hiding from his son that he's got
Throat
Throat
cancer.
cancer.
Yeah.
But when he knows that his son has now come to know that he's got throat cancer, तो वो जो scene है जिसके अंदर like you know the father tells the son के don't worry, don't get upset, nothing will happen. But that scene, the way it
The changeover.
Yeah.
When he realizes through the son.
And he's feeling that his son may become weak, mentally disturbed हो जाएगा by coming to know this thing. So the way he consoles his son के no, don't be strong.
और घर पे किसी को मत बताना.
किसी को बताना नहीं.
You know, I didn't want to. I didn't want to bring up Ghatak because that one scene, the dog chain scene. It's shot where I stay.
Oh,
I used to
really?
stay. Yeah,
Achha.
there's one lane behind. There's
Oh.
one lane behind. It's shot at a place called Palan Soshpal, which is one of the biggest stalls in Dadar.
Oh.
And I used to stay one lane behind it. So I was
Wow.
there at the shooting as well when the shooting was taking place. And my school was this side, my home was this side, which was Palan Soshpal, where it was shot.
Wow.
And that one dog chase, I still can't see it. I've seen it
Yeah.
once. I still can't see it because at some point or the other, any son would see his own father in that scene. And the way Mr.
fact-
Sir has done it, I still get goosebumps watching
Yeah,
it.
yeah. In fact, many of his fans, he had a fan club which was headed by someone. So they had a big complaint against when they came and met him. They said कि ऐसा वाला सीन आपने क्यों किया पुरी साहब, ऐसा वाला सीन नहीं करना चाहिए. तो हमारे लिए तो बहुत हम तो देख ही नहीं सकते हैं ये वाला कि आपके गले में कोई ऐसे चेन लगाता है. ये तो फिर देन डैड हैड टू मेक देम अंडरस्टैंड कि अरे भाई पिक्चर है, पिक्चर के अंदर ये होता है. नहीं, ये तो हमारे से हम देख नहीं सकते हैं ऐसे. So
Yeah,
they were so like
yeah.
faithful to him.
Even I can't
But-
see it. I saw
yeah.
it once and वो एक बार देख के because first time you don't realize what's going to happen, so you don't know what's
Yeah.
happening.
Yeah.
But once you've seen it, you're like, नहीं, you can't see it again. So that was.
Very
But-
interestingly, sorry, please continue.
But the credit goes to the director for conceiving that whole scene and doing it so brilliantly on the screen.
But Santoshi sir and
Oh,
Amrish
yes.
sir had some connection.
Oh, yes.
Very
Because
strong.
Balwant Rai.
Balwant
Oh,
Rai.
brilliant
Balwant
guy.
Rai. Balwant Rai. I was yes. It's
Brilliant
Balwant
guy.
Rai and Ghayal.
Balwant Rai and Ghayal, Ghatak, Damini. People talk about Raj Santoshi and Sunny Deol. They should talk about Raj Santoshi and Amrish Puri.
But very interestingly, after Ghatak, since we are talking about
Yeah.
Ghatak, I believe that there was a large crowd that gathered outside Danny Sir's house.
Really?
And they were really upset. They were fuming that how did you do this? And apparently they had to be consoled and told that this was a movie and I would never do that in real life, and in fact we are very close. So only after being fully convinced did they leave.
Wow.
So that was the impact of the character and the film.
Yeah, they also worked in
Which is
Santoshi sir's
amazing.
China Gate, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Yeah, they worked in China Gate as well.
China Gate, yeah. And very good friends. Danny was very close to Dad. And China Gate was another brilliant movie,
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Really good.
Even in those serious scenes, there was some
Yeah,
comedy, comedy happening.
yeah, absolutely.
He has a one-liner also there.
Somewhere.
But so somehow so I think he's done everything. He's done full negative, he's done full positive, he's done full comic. I think कुछ छोड़ा नहीं था उन्होंने.
नहीं.
He did everything that can be done
Oh, yes.
in those times of cinema.
Yeah.
I mean, had he been around now, he would have done so much more than what he would not have thought.
Someone, a very big director, recently told me, I'm using his words, he said that Mr. Amrish Puri made villains sexy.
Yeah.
He's saying
True.
the shot in which Amrish ji comes out of the pool.
Yes.
He's saying that for the first time, we started believing that the villain, if not, the shot in which Amrish ji comes out of the pool. Yes. He's saying that for the first time, we started believing that the villain, if not sexier can be as sexy as the hero.
True.
He said that
True.
all the women, all the people who looked up to heroes started looking at Dadu and saying that this man looks amazing.
He looked
And
amazing.
he's the same man who very early in his career was told that you have a very harsh face. Very harsh face.
Yeah.
Those same people started meeting him at premieres and telling him that you are looking amazing. And he kept thinking that my face is the same.
Your vision has changed.
Your vision has changed. So that's what
Yeah.
that's what happens, right? In life.
Yeah.
You keep growing and people's
Yeah.
perspective changes.
Keep on
You just
changing.
keep working.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Cool. Cool. Thank you so
Amazing.
much. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir.